Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. This time we will think on a basic book, Prakaran Grantha, called as Tattvabodha. This is the first text which is introduced to the students of Vedanta. And here you are all the Maharathis in Vedanta. And yet I am having the daring to talk to you on the basics. See, the rule is, if the fundamentals are clear in life, then life is a fun. If the fundamentals are not clear, then the life is mental. Therefore, in spite of having studied for so many years, if we still have problems and we still get disturbed by them, it simply means that our fundamentals are not clear. In this text, the basic information is given. So first is the information, I. Second is, how do we interact with that information? 2. And the third is, how do we implement that interaction after proper thinking in our day-to-day life? So it will be a 3I process. First, information, second, interaction, and third, implementation in one's life. These are the 3 I's which Lord Shiva has. We are all Lord Shiva. We also have 3 I's. Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti. So let us try to read this basic text in the light of this understanding. Whenever any great work begins, we think about the Lord. We think about something higher, which can keep us inspired in life. Achievements are possible not when we are functioning under the influence of desires. Achievements are possible when we are functioning under the umbrella of inspiration. An inspired person is never tired in life. An inspired person is never bored in life. An inspired person is ever fresh in spite of all the problems around. And for this inspiration to be discovered in oneself, we look upon someone for whom we have tremendous reverence and we are able to surrender our personality, which is the cause of all the problems. Thus, Bhagavad Shankaracharya begins this text with this invocation. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Guru Mukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodha Vidhiyate. This knowledge is meant for those who are mumukshu. Mumukshu means those who have come to recognize the limitations of this relative world. And after they have come to recognize the limitations of the relative world, now they want freedom from this. Although we have to live in the relative world, yet we have to be absolutely happy. One of the firm from USA conducted one survey all over the world, taking some samples and some criteria, and they conducted the experiment, collecting the data and interpreting. The conclusion was the survey was, which is the happiest country in the world? After they did the whole thing, they came across 3 countries which are happiest. One was India, second was Indonesia, and third was Mexico. All the overdeveloped countries are over frustrated. Why this is so in India? Because the Satyameva Jayate is not the real meaning of Indian logo. They should replace it. Instead of Satyameva Jayate, they should say Chalta Hai. It is only this Chalta Hai principle that keeps us going. See, ऐसे ही होता है, let it go. See, therefore, those who are having something higher as the goal of their life, moksha. This world has always been like this. Let us not waste our time on improving the world. Where God has failed, we can never succeed. When God could not improve us, how can we improve others? Therefore, mumukshu is the one whose attention is not on the world, but his attention is on the free self that we are. Mumukshunam hitarthaya. Hita is the good. What is good for us? There are 2 aspects. One aspect is what we like, and second aspect is what is good for us. Most of us spend our time in only this search. Whatever I like, that I should get. But the seeker of truth is whatever is good for me, that I should attain. Hitarthaya. So, what is the absolute good for us? How do we get out of this relative existence which is making us go through many miseries of life? See, mumukshunam hitarthaya. Tattvabodho vidiyate. Bodha and jnanam, these are the 2 words which are referred in Sanskrit for the word knowledge. Knowledge is jnanam and experience is bodha. We are not talking about tattva jnana. We are talking about tattvabodha. Jnanam is made available to others through many channels of communication, such as speech, mind, thought, digital media, etc. Bodha is the immediate experience. What is said is meant in one's experience. See? It is something like this. One Babaji like me goes and gives lectures. Trividham naragasedam dvaram nachanamatmanah kam krodhastatha lovaha tasmade tattrayam tyaje. Desire, anger and greed are the 3 gateways to the hell. Therefore, those who are seeking their absolute good, they should renounce anger. After this statement is made, one seeker comes little late. And the Babaji uses his school. Close that door. Why you come late and disturb everybody? In fact, nobody is disturbed. It is the Babaji who is disturbed. Because nobody can see who has come, who has not come. See, friends. So, knowledge is meant for preaching. Bodha is the result of practice of that knowledge in one's life. This is one of the most essential aspects of Tattvabodha. See, in Warsaw, many years before, after my first day introduction lecture was over, I was speaking that time on 2nd chapter of Gita, maybe about 30 years before. And when I was getting down the stage, one elderly round figure, Sindhi mother-in-law came and she said, Swamiji, Today your lecture was perfectly meant for my daughter-in-law. You please come to our house and tell her. I said, Mahamaya, you came on your own to listen and you don't want to change. And that daughter-in-law who doesn't want to listen, to her I should tell so that she will change. See the height of foolishness. Therefore, if the knowledge is practiced in one's life, it becomes wisdom. When the knowledge is given to others, it becomes pravachan. In our Punjabi language, they don't call pravachan. Because what is the Punjabi language? Where jodakshar is todakshar and todakshar is jodakshar. Pravachan, they will say parvachan. Dusre ke vachan apne. So knowledge is meant for giving to others. Bodha is when we have practiced that knowledge in our life, then it becomes our immediate experience. So this Tattvabodha, Tattva means what? Bodha we understood. Tattva means, Tat is a pronoun, sarvana. Tat is also a root, dhatu. When you take this word tat as a derivative of the root, tat means dhatu, the root, tanoti iti tat. That which can be expanded is called as the tat. That which can be expanded does not have any form of its own. See? Like you take any metal. When we study in metallurgy the various qualities of the metal, see, the other day I received one SMS. In chemistry they have discovered a new metal. Name of the metal, wife. And then so many attributes. Boils at any temperature. Highly attracted by the gold, the diamond, the jewelry. And behavior is unpredictable. But there is no mention when we study about the metal that the metal has this particular shape, that which is shapeless, that which is formless, that alone can take every form, every shape. So Tat means that which permeates everything and being, and yet is beyond the limitations of the relativity or the things and beings. Tattvam. See? That is our essential nature. So this is Tattva. That-ness. Like the space. Supports every shape, every form. And yet, itself shapeless, formless. The same words are used by Bhagavan Krishna in 9th chapter, where he talks about himself. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina masthani sarvabhutani nachaham teshu avastitaha nacha masthani bhutani pashyame yogameshwaram bhuta bhrignacha bhutastaha mamatma bhuta bhavana. Maya avyakta murtina idam jagat tatam. Me, the formless, support and permeate all the forms. Therefore, they are in me, but I am not in them. When the form is broken, the truth remains as it is. Therefore, Tattva means that which alone has as if become everything. See? The gold as if has become all the ornaments. The water as if has become all the waves. So what is an ornament? An abuse to the gold. We look at the gold and call it as an ornament. What is the wave? An abuse to the waters. We look at the waters, call it as a wave. In the same manner, we are looking at the Paramatma, but we abuse Paramatma as Jiva Jagat Ishvara. When our attention is withdrawn from names and forms, the word is recognized as Paramatma. When our attention is beyond the limitations of the Panchakoshas, we have discovered the self as one's own being. See? When we discard the distance between me, the virtual I, and me, the actual I, when this difference is dissolved, that is called as the abidance in the absolute self. In this manner, Tattvabodha. Now the second meaning of the word Tat, when it is taken as a pronoun. Pronoun means what? It can be associated with everything. There is no specificity. Like when we say man, then man cannot be referring to a woman. Only the man alone is referred. But when we say Sarvanam, it refers to everything and being. That man, that lady, that tree, that confusion, that joy, it goes with everything. Therefore, this Tattvabodha indicates the experience which includes everything, excludes nothing, and yet doesn't get influenced by any experience. That is what is called a Tattvabodha. So this Tattvabodha is meant for mumukshunam hitāthāya, for the welfare and absolute good of those who are seeking the truth. Now, when this text has to be started, Natva, having saluted, to whom? Vasudevendra Yogindram Jnana Pradam Guru Natva. Having saluted, having surrendered to the Guru, who alone has given us this knowledge, who is Vasudeva Yogindra, who is the Vasudeva, the Lord Himself, and Yogindra, who is Yatra Partho Dharudaraha, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. So, the Guru is none other than Paramatma expressing through a station which is acting as dissemination of knowledge free of charge for no reason, is called as Guru. So to that Guru Maharaj, having offered the salutations, this Tattvabodha is being expounded, it is meant for them. Now why so much of importance is given to the Guru as a person? Be very attentive. In our school and college, we all have gone through this experience. If any teacher we don't like, we never like to study that subject. And if any teacher we like, we want to study that subject. Because if we do not have respect and reverence for the teacher, we can never learn from him or her. Therefore, it is in our interest that if we are able to recognize the teacher, in Upanishad it comes, Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha gurau tasyete kathita yata prakashante mahamanaha. He who has the same devotion to the teacher and the Lord, to that seeker alone, the Upanishad reveal their meaning. The truth is never gained by the efforts of the seeker. The truth is always revealed by the free will of the reality. Yamaivesha vrudute tena labhyaha tasyesha atma vivrudute tanum swam. Upanishad says, the Lord decides to whom to reveal. It is not that I want, no question of that. Therefore, this recognition of the teacher and the manifestation of the divine is salutation to the teacher. And in this manner, in the invocation, the teacher has indicated the subject matter, Tattvabodha, the seeker who is qualified, Adhikari, Mumukshu, the purpose, Hitarthaya, for the absolute good of the seeker, and the relationship, what we are talking about, is none other than our own essential nature. This is called technically in Vedantic language as Anubandha Chatushtaya. Chatushtaya is 4. Anubandha means that subject matter is tied down under these 4 main categories. And this is how the first verse gives us an introduction to this Tattvabodha. Now, another beauty of this particular text is, in every sentence, new word is added, one word. Subsequent sentence is nothing but the explanation of the earlier word. In explaining that earlier word, another new word is added. And then the next third sentence is the explanation of this added new word. In this manner, slowly the text is developing on its own. There is no struggle. And when you go through that evolution of thought, evolution of understanding, then we evolve in the experience. This is how having said this thing, now the teacher talks about who is the Adhikari. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna Adhikarinam Moksha Sadhana Bhutam Tattva Viveka Prakaram Vakshamaha. The first commitment, it is said, Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna Adhikarinam Vakshamaha. See, Vakshamaha is a plural. Hum batayenge. Plural. Vakshami is not said. Why Vakshamaha? Be very attentive. Every word has got a depth. It is not that this knowledge I have specially discovered. No. This knowledge is coming to us from generations of the teacher and the disciple lineage. Therefore, no teacher ever claims this is my new discovery. Friends, in the material sciences, new discovery is honored, recognized by a dumb thing called as PhD. On the spiritual path, new discoveries are disregarded. See, there is no discovery new. I have discovered, you must have seen, the other day I was in US or somewhere, and they asked me, Swami, these days there is one yoga which is very famous. It is called as hot yoga, temperature wise. And that gentleman called as Vikram, he does that. He creates artificial condition of high temperature, humidity, and makes the people do all kinds of acrobatics. See, in this world, if you have got marketing ability, you can sell cow dung. If you don't have marketing ability, your diamond will remain without being sold. So he had this ability. So he started, and lot of people, now some cases are also. So one person asked me this question. Swamiji, you know Studio, yoga, etc. Kindly tell me, what is this hot yoga? Does it have any place in our scriptures? I said, yes, it has. What is that? I said, do you know who is the person who has started this new technique? He is a Bengali. And for a Bengali, is pronounced as O. So it is actually a Hatha yoga. He calls it a hot yoga. Like, Bengalis, they never have bhajan. They always have bhojan. Chalo bhojan karenge. So, there is no new technique. Please remember this. If we want shortcuts on the spiritual path, we will be cut short. Guarantee. So here the teacher says, I am not going to tell you anything new. Whatever I have learned from my teacher learned from my teacher, and in this manner, Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. This knowledge has come from the teacher to disciple in this lineage, and therefore there is nothing new, and therefore no Upanishad ever adds written by so and so, all rights reserved. Because they don't claim this is my knowledge. Therefore, Vakshamaha, we shall reveal. What we shall tell? Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna Adhikarinam, for those who are having these fourfold qualifications, after which they become qualified for this knowledge. Is there any quota? Reservation? There is no quota, there is no reservation. Many times the Grahasthas ask this quota reservation. Swami, it is okay for you, you are a Swami, but we are Grahasthas. What do you mean you are Grahastha? Is it a qualification or what? No, it is difficult for us. It is nothing like difficult or not difficult. This is the way. Those who complain with statements like it is very difficult, they don't have hunger. They don't have the value for this knowledge. Say how it is. We all have value for money. Has anybody ever said that earning money is very difficult, therefore I am not going to earn money? There we discovered new techniques, above the table, below the table, side, before the office, after the office. See how many techniques. See? Because the value for money is understood. In the same manner, Sadhan Chatushtaya Sampanna means we have to be qualified. See, if you want to destroy somebody, give them free facilities, that person will be destroyed. One of the most important techniques by which societies are destroyed. You go to the welfare states. Welfare states are those states, they have given farewell to the abilities of the people. They don't want to work. When government is paying, if you are unemployed because you are unemployable, it is not a qualification that government should pay you for doing nothing. See? The same thing is happening. The other day I was in South India and you know this Kamat chain of hotels, they are very known to me. So when I went to one of their hotels, I said, hey, how come there are no South Indian boys working here? All are Nepalis, Jang Bahadur and Tegh Bahadur and all Bahadurs have got. Instead of talwar in the hand, they have got a pochak. What is this? He says, Swamiji, your observation is perfect. These days we don't get anybody to work in our hotels. What is the reason? The reason is government gives them 2 rupees kilo price. Their requirement, suppose 20 kilos or 10 kilos, that they keep for themselves. Remaining, they sell in the black market and they get sufficient money out of it. Who will work? See, friends, and we think that we are doing good to them. We are destroying the society completely. See, friends, therefore, on the spiritual path, at least, we should not bring that approach. No, we are Grahastha, therefore, there should be some quota for realization for the Grahasthas. There is no quota. Therefore, sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikarina, those who have got this fourfold qualification in completely, it's not little bit. No, I have got, out of the 4, I have got, 10%. So the other student has got 95%, he doesn't get admission. The other useless has got only 10%, he gets admission. Society is improving. So here that is sampanna, one has to be fully blessed with this fourfold qualification. Moksha sadhana bhutam. This alone will lead us to freedom. Friends, freedom from what? See, we talk about freedom. In Sanskrit literature, a place they mentioned it very beautifully. For the welfare of the whole body, if one finger is required to be chopped off, it should be done. Keep the totality in view, not the individuality. For the welfare of the whole family, if one person has to be sacrificed, it has to be done. For the welfare of the whole state, if one village has to be sacrificed, it must be done. Totality is important, not individuality. But in today's world, freedom is spoken of with reference to the individuality at the cost of the totality. See, friends, therefore, moksha sadhana bhutam, the real freedom is freedom from our own mind. Whatever I feel like doing, if I am allowed to do, if that is called as freedom, then all animals are free. See? The other side, the road is empty, so why I don't drive from that side? No. You have freedom to drive the car on the road with do's and don'ts. It is a guarded freedom. It is not the licentious freedom. Therefore, moksha sadhana bhutam, that will lead to the freedom from this relative world. Tattva viveka prakaram vakshamaha. We shall expound on Tattva viveka prakaram. Tattva, we explain to you the absolute reality. Viveka is discrimination. This discrimination I will tell you in 2-3 different ways. One discrimination is spoken of in Nyaya Shastra as the Tila Tandula Nyaya. Tila Tandula Nyaya means a mother tells her son, go and get a kg of rice and a kg of sesame seeds. Tila. So he goes to the shop and gets two in the 2 paper bags, puts them in one carry bag and hangs it to the bicycle and comes. And on the way, these 2 bags break and both of the contents, the tila and tandula, they become one, mixed up, give to the mother. Why did you do that? I can't cook like this, but what can I do? Separate. Tila, tandula, sit down and sit. Tila, tandula, nyaya, vivek, number 1. Second is the discrimination between the jada and the chetana, the sentient and the inanimate. So, all that is known is inert. The knower is sentient. Examples are given. I, the knower, Mike, the known. So, I am the sentient one and the Mike is inert. Jada Chetana Vivek. I know you all, I am the knower, you are all Jada. Swamiji, we can also say like that, you can also. I only can. Because what I see is not you. What I see is your body. As I see my body, I see you. So this is the second Viveka discrimination. Third Viveka is the Bhokta Bhogya Viveka. Experiencer and experienceder. See? Experience of misery by me, the experiencer who has become miserable. Discriminate. And when we discriminate, we come to know that the miseries can be attributed to somebody or something, but we all become miserable by our choice. So when we discriminate between misery and the miserable, we discover the freedom that if I refuse to be miserable, nobody can make me miserable. Viveka, discrimination. Discrimination according to Vedanta Shastra is discrimination between the snake and the rope. I told you last time, in Vedanta you may not know Brahman, you may not know anything, but you have to know the snake and the rope. The snake is required for the disciples, it will go and bite, and the rope is kept by the Guru to hang himself. And when the Guru and the disciple, both of them disappear, what remains is Paramatma. So, discrimination between the snake and the rope. So when you inquire what the snake is, the snake disappears and the rope remains. This is one way of discrimination between the substratum and the superimposed, between the actual and the virtual. Next discrimination is discrimination between the Sat Asat Vivek, that which is and that which is not. Now what could be the discrimination between that which is and that which is not? That discrimination will be which is. Which is not. How can you discriminate between the two, which is and which is not? So this discrimination ultimately leads to the absolute reality. This is the discrimination that will be dealt with in this Tattvabodha. Tattvabodha prakaram pakshamaha. We shall tell you what is your essential nature, and all the things will disappear. They will go nowhere because they are nowhere. So sadhan chatushtaya sampanna adhikaranam moksha sadhana bhutam tattva viveka prakaram vakshamaha. We shall expound on the technique of discrimination between the real and the unreal, the eternal and ephemeral, by which we will be able to attain freedom from this relative miserable world. Sadhana chatushtaya came, a question is raised. Sir, you said in the last statement, this is meant for the sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikari. So, sadhana chatushtayam came, what is the meaning of sadhana chatushtaya? Chatushtaya means four. So, what are these four qualifications which are necessary to know the reality? First is nitya nitya vastu vivekaha. First is the discrimination between the eternal and the ephemeral. Is viveka is the first qualification. Do we have viveka? See, a person who doesn't understand this much, what is good for us that we should do, what is not good for us that we should avoid. If this is not recognized by a person, will he or she be able to practice this knowledge? We go to the pawn shop and ask him, there are Charminar ka packet here? Why Charminar? Sadhan chatushtaya sampanna. And then we take the packet and see there. Cigarette smoking is injurious to health. Ah, very good. Give 2 more packets. That means what we read there, that it is injurious to health, has no impact on us. Such a dull-witted person, he is not qualified. Viveka, discrimination is necessary. When we become angry, and when we come to discover this, that when we become angry, we are the one who are influenced first and then others. And a person who is perpetually angry on every issue with everyone, after some time, people start giving discount to his anger. This word discount I learned from a child. When I was taking food in their house, that girl, not a very small one, she was about 10, 12 years, she came, Babaji, I want to eat with you. I said, sit down, I will feed you. So, a South Indian. So I took one what I, after I accepted the deal. I said, now one you eat, one I eat, okay? Okay. Both of us were happy. But Hitler came. Hitler means one who hits for no reason. He came and gave one to that child. You are taking a choice plate. I was afraid, second should not be. Angry man can do anything, I tell you. He forgets all sense of proportions. And after then poor girl went in her room, and this fellow has to go out because somebody phoned, like a Hindi cinema setting, he went out. Then I went to that girl. I said, hey, you know, your dad always talks about you. He praises you so much. He loves you so much. Swami, don't try to pacify me. I don't become frustrated because of his anger. I had given 100% discount to my dad. That day I discovered, see, when we become angry over every issue, people start giving discount. See, when we complain all the time, people say, "Koi baat nahi, आदत है, चलो." This discrimination, how our own behavior is devalued because we overdo anything. See, when you do not advise anybody on any issue, and once in a while if you say something, it has an impact. But if somebody has this habit, on everything there is an advice. देखो बेटा, ऐसा नहीं, पैरों से नहीं चलते, शीर्षासन से. See, such disgusted people, they don't understand that where they are going wrong. See, this is one of the reasons why the husband and wife, they fight, because both of them lack discrimination. If they had discrimination, they will never get married. So, Nitya Vastu Vivekaha, the first qualification. We have to lead an intelligent life, not intellectual life. Then, Iha Amutra Artha Padabhoga Viragaha, the second qualification is Viragaha, dispassion. See, friends, dispassion is not depression. In case of depression and dispassion, both the cases, one withdraws from the world. Withdrawal as a result of wisdom is called as dispassion. Withdrawal as a result of a hairline fracture in the heart muscle. See? What happened to you these days? One boy tells his girlfriend, पता नहीं चलते चलते रुक जाता हूँ, पता नहीं बोलते बोलते चुप हो जाता हूँ, क्या हो गया मुझे? Girlfriend says, nothing, take glucose D, you will provide. It is not a healthy condition, it is not love. It is only your health wise down, be healthy, you will be all right. In the same manner. Depression because nobody likes me, nobody wants me, depression. Dispassion, although everything is available, number one, we have the capacity to indulge, number two, we have the freedom to indulge, number three, and yet we have the freedom to withdraw. That withdrawal through wisdom and freedom is called as dispassion. So here, Iha Amutra Arthapala Bhoga Viraga. Iha means in this world. We are attached to the worldly things and beings, and therefore we want so many things and we go on collecting, go on indulging. Not only in this world, but in the other world, Amutra, in the other world. Therefore, what we do? We do lot of charity. So I have given so much of donation. What for? This is the only way you can transfer your money in the heaven. There is no other way. See? There is no hawala. Unless you are diwala, you can't go. So, when we give in charity, so after we are given in charity, that amount is kept. One person went to the gateway of heaven and hell. There is only one gate. There are not three gates. One gate. And the Gabriel saw, okay, go to hell. He said, no, I have done something good in my life. I will first go to heaven. He said, no, the rule is first go to hell, finish your enjoyment, then come to heaven. No, I want to first go to heaven. So, there was a commotion. Yamaraj said, what is happening? There is a big queue. Clear quickly. Oh, this fellow is arguing. What happened? Send him to me. So he goes there. I want to go first to heaven. No, it is not possible. Our rules are rules. No, I have given, yes, we have record, you have given 4 annas in charity. We know that. But first you have to go to hell. No, but I want to go to heaven. Yamaraj said, take 4 annas, send him to hell for eternal. See, friends, this is not the way. We do good things so that our desires in the world will be fulfilled. It is not vairagya. Iha amutra anabhoga viragaha. Friends, samsara does not mean this world alone. Samsara means that field of experience where desire fulfillment is the only criteria of existence. When we go to the hotels, etc., samsara. We go to the mall, samsara. We go where the sale is going on, samsara. We go to the temple. Bhagwan, kindly note down. And if you do this thing, then ek nariyal on his head, samsara. Wherever desire fulfillment is the criteria, we are in samsara. Therefore, iha amutra artha phalabhoga viragaha. Total freedom from all desires means what? We are no more living for fulfillment of our desires as the criteria of existence. If we look within and if we ask ourselves what we have done till date, we will come to this conclusion. Other than fulfilling our desires, we have achieved or done nothing. Balastavat kridasakta, tarunastavat tarunirakta, rudrastavat chintasakta, parame brahmani gopinarakta. So what we have done really in our life is nothing but try to fulfill desire after desire after desire, and yet there is no discrimination. That fulfillment of the desires has never led us to the fulfillment in life. And yet, that is the only thing we are doing. He who has this discrimination, he alone will have proper dispassion. Dispassion is not hatred. Raga, dvesha, liking and disliking. Dispassion is going beyond liking and disliking. Then, the third qualification in the fourfold qualities is Shamadi Sharaka Sampattihi. Shama, etc. Sixfold spiritual wealth. Sampattihi is wealth. You know, in Ram Manas, Tulsidas writes somewhere, who is the most miserable person in the world? He who is poor. For leading the material life, we have to have wealth. In the same manner, to lead a spiritual life, we have to have the spiritual wealth. So the Shamadhi Sharaka Sampatti is sixfold spiritual wealth. Without wealth, nothing can be achieved. The story I read in somebody's life in Calcutta. There was a very wise man, big man. He happened to go in a simple Bengali attire in a big Viceroy's, some party. The gatekeeper refused him, get away. पता नहीं कहाँ से बंगाली था. Although he was the wisest man of that place, then he went and dressed properly and came in a car. In the material world, material wealth is valuable, that we understand. But on the spiritual path also, we require the spiritual wealth. This does not click us. So, sixfold spiritual wealth is the third qualification, and the fourth is mumukshutvam chaiti. Mumukshutvam moktum ichha. Unless we want, we cannot stay on the spiritual path. Here, I'll give some thought which many people may disagree. As per my understanding, whatever little I have, in the relationship between the Guru and the Shishya, responsibility lies 100% on the shoulders of the Shishya, the disciple. Unless the disciple wants to change, Guru can do nothing. We may glorify Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. What Jagat Guru? What he could do with Dushyasan Duryodhan? If he was really a Jagat Guru, he would have changed them. See? And when Ekalavya was there, although Dronacharya refused him to accept as a disciple, but he continued. Who cares whether he accepts or not? I hold on to that principle of Guru. Therefore, in the relationship of the Guru and Shishya, responsibility lies 100% squarely on the shoulders of the disciple and not on the Guru. Therefore, mumukshutvam, two qualities. Unless we want to change ourselves and unless we are ready to change ourselves, the Guru will definitely help us if we have these two qualities. We want to change ourselves and we are ready to change ourselves. Many times it happens that we want to change, but we are not ready to change. We are not able to change. Ability and readiness. One type of students are, they are able, but why should I change? I will continue. The others are, I want to change, but I just cannot wake up in the morning. How many what should I do? Is it that Brahma Muhurta is only limited? Can't we extend Brahma Muhurta from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock? Extended Brahma Muhurta. Therefore, mumukshutva is, unless the disciple wants to change, nothing can help us. Many years before, one young boy, maybe about 17, 18 like that, he came and he said, I want to study. I said, look here, your parents have not allowed you to come. Why you have come? He said, they may allow me or not, who cares? I want to study, I want to study. I said, suppose I don't accept it. I said, no, I will not give you admission. What will you do? He said, who cares? I will go to some other teacher. See how commitment, Unless the disciple is committed, the knowledge will never come to him. This commitment is called as moktum ichha, the burning desire to liberate from the relative existence. Now after having told his fourfold qualification, Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi, Sadaka Sampatti and Mokshatva. Now each one of is taken for further deeper analysis. Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha Kaha. When you said discrimination is discrimination between the eternal and the ephemeral, what does it mean? The teacher says, Nitya Vastu Tu Ekam Brahma Tattvabodha Sarvam Anityam Ayam Eva Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha. Nitya Vastu Tu Ekam Brahma. The eternal is only one without a second. And the word is Brahma. Brahma means bigger than the biggest. So even if you take this one word and start contemplating, reflecting on that, you will come to know that bigger than the earth is the waters. Bigger than the waters are the fire. Bigger than the fire is the air. Bigger than the air is the space. Where is the space? The space is in our mind. When the mind is closed, as in deep sleep, where are we? Space disappears. And what is the mind? Mind is the manifestation of the consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is referred here as Brahma. And this absolute reality alone is the Nitya eternal. Everything goes and comes and goes and comes. So Nitya Vastutu Ekam Brahma, and therefore one of the techniques given by the great teachers, come out of the shell. You have to break the shell, or else you will continue to be a nun. Unless you break the shell, continue to be a nun. And we are all nuns. Don't want to break. Remain in the small little cocoon. And therefore, Nitya Vastu Tu Ekam Brahma. Let us think great, not small little thing. See how much disgusting if you look around. Beyond that and think only in terms of small things, not something great. So Nitya Vastu Tu Ekam Brahma. Bruhatvat Brahma. Tat Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. Other than this reality, everything is Anitya, not real. Constantly changing. Now, this is information, now interact. Interaction is, what is that which is ever present? And what is that which is constantly changing? Now, this is what is called as meditation according to the path of Vedanta. In Vedanta, Chitta Vritti Nirodha Yoga is not accepted. Now we start working on this statement. The eternal reality is Brahman and constantly changing is not the reality, it is the world. So find out. Then we come to know the things around us are changing, we are not changing. But we simply talk, but don't work on it. Like I was in Calcutta, in some Marwari house. So when we went for dinner, evening time, night, so Swamiji, where from you have come? A standard question. So whatever love comes, I give. So I said, I come from Vrindavan. Oh, you are from Vrindavan? Yes. Vrindavan has changed so much in last 40, 50 years, is it? So I said, Babaji, please come. So he got up and came. I took him near the sink where you wash your hands and showed the mirror. I said, look into this. This was the same thing 40 years before. The world is not changing. Our understanding is changing. World is the same. There is nothing new in this world. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Macharya, friends, enemies, achievement, failure, everything is the same. Health, disease. What is new in this world? But we focus so much attention on this world and start becoming worried about it. If you want to see the reality, then find out. Dehinosmin yatha dehi kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhirastatra namuyati. This body has been constantly changing, but the embodied remains ever the same. So if our attention is on the body, we will be all the time worried. And if our attention is on the embodied, then we will inquire, who is this embodied? Who can exist independent of the body? What is his nature? Then only the inquiry can kindle. Unless we accept theoretically that we are someone other than the body, this inquiry about who am I cannot be initiated. Inquiry about who am I is possible only if we accept ourselves to be the embodied other than the body. When I accept myself to be body, there is no question. I know I am a man, woman, young, old, beautiful, awful. Where is the problem? The problem will come if I am other than the body, then the question comes. Therefore, Nitya Vastu tu Ekam Brahma. Now the second step will come. If I am other than the body, then we start again contemplation. Other than the body means what? Qualities and attributes of the body don't belong to me. So I have no gender, I have no birth, I have no growth, I have no decay, I have no death. Body has a shape and a form. If I am other than the body, I have no shape, no form. Then you start playing. What it is like being formless? Can we think about something which is formless? Yes, the space. So what must be the experience of the space when new planets are created and old planets are destroyed? If some planets are added to the space, does it become a burden? If they are removed, does it become a loss? What is that experience? And thus, we start playing, being formless. Then this knowledge will get converted into experience. Nitya Vastu tu Ekam. Like forms are many, space is one. In the same manner, the things and beings appear to be many, but all of them are supported by one common reality called as Ekam Brahma, which is Nityam, Tattvabodha. Other than this, everything is Anityam. This is what is called as I am eva Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha. Now see, in this manner, if we read and study, every statement becomes meditation. Meditation is not sitting in a most unenviable posture and then suffering silently together, switching off the light so that the teacher and the student can go to sleep. And when the meditation is over, there is awakening from the sleep. These are all the cartoons of meditation. We have to live in meditation 24/7. What is important is life is not how long we can sit in meditation. Bhagavan Krishna says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmannevatmana tushtaha stita prajna sadurtate. We have to be steady in our wisdom, not steady in the posture. Steadiness of the posture is attained without any effort by all the buffaloes of the world. They sit right in the village hall, in front of Amma's house. And doesn't move. Let even the tankers come. The buffalo looks at that with a chewing gum in the mouth. Don't you know meditation is on? That is not meditation. Wisdom has to be steady, not posture. See? Otherwise, half an hour meditation and 23 and a half hour frustration. That cannot be spiritual life. Therefore, when we take this knowledge and play with these ideas, don't do anything, play with it. And one day without your knowledge, things will just click. Like we learn swimming. Swimming is never learned by mind. Swimming is never learned by intellect. Swimming is never learned by your sense organs or organs of action. And therefore, once you learn swimming, you never forget. In the same manner, it is just a knack to no more live as body, but to live through the body. Once this knack we get, thereafter there is no forgetting about it. See? Same thing like the balancing on a bicycle. How do we balance that? Through study? Why did I fall? जब कम हो गया नहीं महाराज. In the same manner, this equipoise, this balance the wisdom, sthita prajna, steady wisdom. Therefore, this is what is called as converting this information through proper interaction into experience. Is called as study of Tattvabodha. Now the second was Vairagya. Viragaha kaha iha swarga bhogeshu ichharahityam. Ichharahityam, total absence of all kinds of desires. See? Who is prompting us to get into this world? What is that power? Bhagavan Krishna is asked this question by Arjuna, third chapter of Gita. Atha kena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichannapi varshneya baladivaniojitaha. A varshneya, although unwilling, who compels a person to go the wrong way? What is that? The teacher says, Kama esha, Krodha esha, Rajoguna samudhavaha, Maha ashanaha, Maha papma, Viddhena mihavainidam. Any the desire allies anger. When we come under the influence of the desire or the anger, we can do anything in life. Desires, Maha ashanaha. Desires can never be fulfilled in life. We have to transcend the desires. And we can transcend the desires only through wisdom. There is no other way. But what is the meaning of prosperity for us? Prosperity means all our desires are fulfilled. There was a king and he had a son, a prince. He was crying. So the king said, why my son is royal child is crying? Oh, it's okay, the children cry. No, he's a royal child, he can't cry. Call him here. What he wants, give him. Then the royal orders. So the child goes, what do you want, prince? I want a buffalo. Give him buffalo. His desire should be fulfilled. Again, now what do you want? See, the grass has to be brought from the buffalo. See how intelligent he is. He wants to give grass to the buffalo, therefore he is crying. Again, now what do you want? The grass should be fed to the buffalo. See, feed. The royal desire, not ordinary. Feed the grass. Again, now what happened? Take out the milk. So, again, now what do you want? Put the milk back. One. Desires have no logic, no end. Desires can never never be fulfilled. Once we recognize this, then only we will work on transcending the desires. But for us, prosperity means desires are fulfilled. See, friends, therefore, what is viraga? Viraga kaha, iha swarga bhogeshu ichha rahityam. No more carrying the burden of desires. See, anywhere you read, these various stories in Puranic literature, there this one common thing comes. There was such and such person in the heavens, and he did like this thing, and he wanted to have that kind of desire, and therefore he was cursed, and therefore he was born as human. See? Take example of that King Naush. He did 100 yajnas and Ashwamedh yajna, and then he was supposed to occupy the throne of Indra, and then he decided, let me go and enjoy Indrani, now I am the Indra. So she says, unless you come to me in a palanquin carried by the 4 Saptarshis, out of the 7, 4 should carry your palanquin, you come. There is so much infatuated by the desire, he called the Saptarshis. And among them, Agastya the shorty, pygmy dragon. So naturally, 4 of them, there was too much of jerking and all that. And then this Nausha becomes so angry. Why are you doing like this thing? If you do like this thing, I will punish you. Because now I am Indra. And that time, Agastya Rishi curses, you will become a python. And immediately he becomes a python. So where anger, curse, blessing, desires are rampant, that is called as samsara. See, friends. Therefore, here in this world, amutra, in the other world, phala bhoga viragaha, no more any longing to enjoy. See, friends. And this can happen only through proper inquiry. We all experience absolute bliss in deep sleep. Nobody can deny that. And in that deep sleep experience, what do we indulge in? Nothing. When indulgence comes to a zero level, when everything, the objective world, the instrument through which the indulgence is done, and the one who was indulging, everything is discarded. And when nothing is and nobody is, then only bliss is experienced. Thus, when we analyze our own experience and discriminate the joy that we get out of the worldly object indulgent, it is not the eternal bliss. It will ultimately lead to blisters. The day you discover this, your desires will no more overpower you, and then only this knowledge is becoming meaningful. Otherwise, even we go to the temple, there also our devotion is that only. Oh God, fulfill my foreign desires. And remember, I don't want you, I want you to fulfill my desires. Very clear understanding. That is why all our Hindu gods have got a smile on the face. aa gaya. And it's not a Varadas. He is enough, of kitna maoge. And if you don't listen, he'll give you one. Then we understand. Therefore, fulfilling desires cannot be the purpose of life. We have been doing it throughout our life, and yet we have not discovered that fulfilling desires have never reached us to a status of fulfillment in life. Thereafter, the third qualification was Shamadhi Shadaka Sampatti. So Shamadhi Sadhana Sampatti kaha Shamo Dhammo Parati Pratiksha Shraddha Samadhanancha iti. There are 6-fold qualities which are included in the spiritual wealth. They are Shama, Dama, Uparati, Tidiksha, Shraddha and Samadhan. Again the question will come, Shama kaha, Dama kaha, Uparati ka, Tidiksha ka, Shraddha ka, Samadhanam kim. That we will take in our tomorrow's class. Before you fall asleep, I must close. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya